After falling for Scotland's cruel fake spring, only to be hit by relentless storms, Laura and I were already deep into our NC500 journey when everything started to unravel. We raced for Bealach Ferry hoping to outrun the weather, only to arrive and discover that every crossing had been cancelled.
Yes, I'm afraid there's no ferries to Skye at all this weekend. There wasn't any today.
With stranded travellers filling every hotel for miles around.
No room at the inn.
We had no choice left. And so we pitched our tent and braced for the storm. For more than 18 hours we sat trapped inside as gale-force winds battered the campsite around us, waiting for even the smallest sign of relief. And then finally, the next morning, the weather broke. Not for long, but long enough. And so we took our chance, packed up fast and made a run for the nearest hotel. Which brings us on to today.
Good morning. Nothing wakes anyone up faster than the smell of coffee.
So we were looking forward to having a really nice long lie-in, but first off, we don't really get a choice because today is going to be one of the very few sunny days. I think there's like only 2 hours of rain intermittently on 2 occasions, but the rest of it is supposed to be sunny. So we're going to try and do the entire trek of Applecross, and we found a log cabin to stay at the top of Applecross. After tonight, we're going to go back to camping. Yay, Laura, it's your favourite. Camping! Say goodbye to the hotel, Laura. No. Say goodbye.
You didn't agree. How long have you been awake for to be this awake?
About 40 minutes.
So we have just packed up at the hotel. We came back to the same one. I thought Laura needed a little break. She was about to have a mental breakdown, so I've basically got to keep pushing her until she's almost at breaking point, and then give her a little hotel stay, and then look how positive she is. I guess she's saying, oh, I'm waiting for her as usual, but actually she did a trip before me. When it comes to like crappy weather riding, it's literally all in the gear, because if you're wearing the right gear it doesn't bother you, right? And it's like if we had like heated jackets over, like waterproof suits on, and maybe like some gaiters for our shoes, we could absolutely go miles and miles. It's the fact that I can't plug a heated jacket in for you, so you get really, really cold very quickly.
I got Saffy a 2-string because she's hangry.
That morning, the weather was still bleak and unforgiving, but compared to what we had already endured, it finally felt manageable. And for the first time in days, it seemed like we were actually making progress. And then, at probably the worst possible moment, Laura casually informed me that she had somehow managed to break the ignition barrel on the bike that I had lent her.
Excuse me. Hi. Do you have any WD-40 by any chance?
Don't think so.
Well, I don't think any more oil than I've put on is going to work, to be honest. There's a lot of oil in here. Thank you so much.
Any luck?
Well, I'm going to try it now, yeah. Okay. Put a load on. Thank you. Alright, we sorted the bike issue.
Or so we thought.
Woo! Doo doo, doo doo.
And of course it wouldn't be a Saffy Sprocket adventure if I didn't take us the completely wrong way.
Saffy's got her sat-nav on her phone, and we haven't had an alert for a long time, so we've just been following this road, which might be the right way to go, but we'll soon see. By the way, Saffy, how nice is this weather? No, we're not camping. It's freezing still. It's still cold.
I also want to pull over and check the sat-nav in a second. Just because like we are getting closer to Inverness and I'm getting a bit nervous that the sat-nav's wrong.
I hope it's not Loch Ness, because that's not the right way to Applecross. You definitely put the right direction in there, right?
We have got a storm on the way. So I think if we can carry on just for like another half an hour.
I love that you're a right-hand turner and I'm a left-hand turner, so every time we turn we bump into each other. Because I hate doing... I can't turn that way, and you don't turn that way. Woo! Look, I'm flying. I was flying and then that guy's just looking at me. That guy is staring at me. I was just going like this. Woo! I'm a pretty princess getting a coffee in a castle. I'm not going to break the suspension. This bike's built for suspension. Where's the castle?
That is the castle.
That? It's not a castle.
Well, according to the sign, it's a castle. So, oh mate, do you know what they do have? A ticket office. Oh, is this enough? Oh, how much is it? Oh, it does look good. We're not paying for nothing, mate.
See if we're going the right way first. We are not going the right way. You're actually taking us to Inverness.
Yeah, what the
So when I checked when we were in Fort Augustus, it was 1 hour 50. It's now 2.5 hours.
We must have been going the wrong way since Fort William.
No.
Yeah, look.
We were supposed to go up here, up to Fort Augustus, basically. Look, when we got to Fort Augustus, which is here, we were meant to turn right, basically. But I didn't hear it. We had already been riding for an hour and a half, and somehow we ended up with a journey that was longer than when we started. And of course, to make things harder, the ignition barrel on Laura's bike was getting even worse.
Yeah, I'll try and turn the barrel. But it's really just locked, like, completely. It shouldn't be this hard, you know? Oh, you're pushing me over. How did you do that?
You basically compass.
Okay.
Okay, good to go?
And just like that, the good weather that we had enjoyed for the last hour quickly disappeared, and in came the storm.
Looks like a nice cafe. I was just thinking that it's gonna rain right now. Because I was gonna suggest we wait the rain out because it's due, basically.
The dark, we're going to be really struggling with running in the dark. That's one of my no-go.
One way. Oh, sorry. We're meant to go to the other car park, I think. I was just going to park us near there, to be honest, rather than walking all the way around. Does she know she's going on the pavement? Oh dear. Slippy grids. Oh my god. Ah.
I did some off-roading to get here, but I'm here.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, we're due for a storm to hit us, and I'm just thinking, I know you want to get there before the storm sets and whatnot, but I think we should go for a, but yeah, I was thinking a decent coffee, a brew. We'll double check the weather, and then as soon as we can we'll go. I don't want to like dilly-dally too long. Oh, this cafe is nice, mate. You're gonna like it. It's so warm.
Been having a good motorcycle?
The weather has been awful.
It's changeable as well, isn't it?
Well, I came this time last year, and it was so lovely. And I dragged my mate up. She's just parking her bike. And she's like, I thought it was supposed to be lovely.
Misinformation.
She's like, it was so cold.
Alrighty, so I went for the vegan haggis and coleslaw. But I've never had haggis before.
So this is what I have for dinner. Jacket tato, food of the gods. And Laura has a vegan haggis roll with some coleslaw. Looks so good.
Laura and I ended up taking shelter in the cafe for quite some time. We watched the wind outside hammer against the trees, and at that point there wasn't much else we could do except wait. Every now and then we'd glance back outside, hoping to see the skies beginning to break, hoping for even the smallest sign that the weather was finally turning in our favour, because somewhere beyond the fog and the rain was Applecross Pass, and neither of us wanted to suffer through it. So we sat there for hours, warming up with coffee, drying out our gear where we could, and waiting for the chance to continue north.
I got you some cake. And I got you something even better underneath it.
A receipt! Aww, I do like doing my taxes. At what point, okay, can you cut a slice of cake? Like, cut a tiny slice, and at what point does it stop being a slice of cake and just being like a crumb of cake?
That's not a slice.
But like, if you turn it sideways, it could be slice of cake. It's like if you said cut me a slice, at what point does it stop being a slice?
I have done way too much camping to think about these questions.
But seriously though, at what point does a slice of cake be too small to be considered a slice of cake?
Well, I don't think that's a slice of cake. That's a piece of cake.
What's the difference between a piece of cake and a slice of cake?
I don't know. Look at you.
Not arriving wet. No such thing as bad weather, just bad organisation skills.
Which you definitely have.
Yeah, it's true.
At some point we realised the situation wasn't really improving, and we had potentially three outcomes. Ride through the bad weather, wait a little bit longer and ride through the dark, or potentially riding through both. And none of them were really good options. So eventually we decided to just commit and keep moving. Our gear still hadn't fully dried from the storm, and we were exhausted from the last couple of days, and honestly the whole trip was starting to wear us down a little bit. The excitement we'd started with had definitely taken a hit. But at the same time, there was one thing keeping us going. At the end of today's ride, waiting for us was a small wooden cabin. A warm place to dry out, rest, and finally get out of the wind and rain for the night. And somehow, knowing that made it just a little bit easier to throw a leg back over the bike and carry on. But that part of the journey is for the next episode.
This one was completely my fault.